Families of hostages being held by Hamas are protesting across Israel a day after double Israeli strikes hit a hospital in Gaza. The protesters are demonstrating at road junctions across Israel, calling on Donald Trump to help finalise a Gaza ceasefire deal that will include the return of the hostages. All this comes amidst international condemnation of the Israeli attack on Nasser Hospital in southern Gaza that killed at least 20 people. 5 journalists were amongst those killed by what's known as a double-tap bombing, 2 strikes in quick succession on the same target. The Israeli military says it's conducting an investigation. Israel's banned international journalists from entering the Gaza Strip independently since the start of the war. Our Middle East correspondent Yolande Nell has more.
"We won't give up," chant hostage families and their supporters. They began another day of disruption, burning tyres and blocking main roads during the morning rush hour. They urgently want Israel's government to agree to a ceasefire deal to get back 50 hostages still held by Hamas in Gaza, 20 of whom are believed to be alive.
We the people demand you prioritize the hostages, go back to the negotiation table. There's a good deal on the table. It's something we could work with. It's something we could get a deal done to bring all the hostages back.
But so far, public pressure hasn't swayed Israel's Prime Minister, with his security cabinet set to discuss the Gaza war. Local reports say that Israeli ministers won't consider the new proposal from regional mediators for a 60-day truce and the return of some of the hostages. Hamas has agreed to that, but Israel now says that it will only accept a full ceasefire deal to bring back all of the hostages and end the war on its terms. And Israel's military has continued to pound Gaza. This was the aftermath of another deadly strike, after the army was told to conquer all of Gaza City to defeat Hamas.
There are no militants here. Children and women got killed in their sleep and we recovered them in pieces.
Meanwhile, the UN says that an Israeli inquiry into yesterday's strikes at a hospital in southern Gaza must yield results. 5 journalists were among at least 20 people killed. The Israeli PM called it a tragic mishap. President Trump said he was not happy and predicted the Gaza fighting would soon end.
I think within the next 2 to 3 weeks you're going to have pretty good conclusive ending.
But he's made similar claims before, and for now the protests in Israel continue with a growing sense of desperation. Yolande Nell, BBC News, Jerusalem.
American-Israeli activist Gil Dickman is one of those taking part in today's demonstrations. His cousin Carmel Gat was taken as a hostage into Gaza and was subsequently murdered. He told us more about his own family's experience.
My cousin Carmel Gat was kidnapped from her parents' house in Kibbutz Be'eri on October 7th. She survived for 328 days alongside Hersh Goldberg Polin, Alex Lubanov, Eden Yerushalmi, and many others. And she was killed, executed on at the end of August 2024, just because the IDF forces were approaching the guards that guarded her. The captors decided that they want to execute her and all the other hostages, and she was killed.
What do you now want the Netanyahu government to do?
Well, just what you're seeing right now when Israeli protesters are in the streets is that Israel wants this war to end and for all the hostages to come home. The people of Israel, most of the Israelis, most of Netanyahu's voters, according to polls that were conducted in the last few days, are saying to Netanyahu, it's time to end this war. What we're seeing in Gaza right now is not Israel's war. It's Netanyahu's war. And the suffering that we're seeing on both sides of the border is preventable. We have to put an end to this. There is an offer on the table. There is a deal on the table to put an end to this war. And this is what we're demanding as Israelis, as innocent civilians, as victims of this horrible massacre that occurred on October 7th. we're saying enough is enough.
And from your own family's awful experience, what do you think the risks are now to those hostages who are still alive being held in Gaza if the Netanyahu government does continue with the military action that it is talking about?
Well, exactly a year ago, Carmel was held in Rafah. And we were saying again and again, don't get into Rafah because you're going to create enormous destruction there and risk the lives of the hostages. If the actual goal of the war is to rescue hostages and get them out, why would you risk their lives? And Netanyahu decided to do it anyway, and Carmel was murdered. We're now facing the occupation of Gaza City, or even the entire Gaza Strip. We're worried that the same thing is going to happen again, word for word, that the IDF is going to get into Gaza City, that hostages that are there will be executed by their captors, and then we will lose them forever. We see that the IDF conquers and occupies parts of the Gaza Strip again and again and again. But if you lose a hostage, you can do it only one time, and you then lose them forever. This is what we're saying to our government. If you really care about the hostages, if you really care about the lives of the Israeli people and the people of the region, the way to do it would be to stop this war, to end this suffering, and to save lives.
Gil Dickman speaking to me earlier. His cousin Carmel Gat was taken hostage and later killed.